The crack of the bat against my skull echoed like a gunshot in the empty stadium. And for a split second, the world spun into a kaleidoscope of green turf and blinding stadium lights. Blood trickled warm down my temple as I hit the dirt, Jake's face frozen in horror above me. His eyes wide, not with the triumph of a home run, but with something deeper, something that had been buried between us for years. "Alex? Oh God, Alex, stay with me," he choked out, dropping to his knees, his hands trembling as they cradled my head. And in that moment, I realized the swing wasn't just a mistake. It was the fracture we'd both been swinging for all along. I guess it started innocently enough, the way these things always do in small-town America, where the air smells like fresh-cut grass and regret. I'm Alex Rivera, 22 years old, a lanky kid from the dusty outskirts of Omaha, Nebraska, who traded his dreams of pro ball for a community college gig coaching Little League on the side. Baseball was my religion growing up. Nights under the glow of my dad's old halogen lamp in the backyard, swinging at shadows until my arms ached. But it was more than that. It was the one place I could pretend the knot in my chest didn't exist, the one that twisted every time I looked at Jake Harlan too long. Jake and I had been inseparable since we were 8, back when we bonded over stolen bases and shared secrets in the dugout of Roosevelt Elementary's cracked diamond. He was the golden boy. Broad shoulders from hauling hay bales on his family's farm, that easy grin that could charm the stripes off a referee, and hair the color of Nebraska corn silk, always tousled like he'd just rolled out of a John Deere. Everyone said we'd make it big together, me pitching, him hitting, but life had other plans. I blew out my shoulder senior year, a tear that sidelined me for good, while Jake rode his talent to a partial ride at Creighton. Straight as an arrow, they called him, and he wore it like a badge, dating cheerleaders and cracking jokes about the fairy tales we'd whisper about in the locker room. But me, I knew different. I'd known since I was 15, the night of the state playoffs when he stripped off his jersey after a walk-off homer, sweat glistening on his chest like some Greek god under the floodlights. My heart hammered harder than the crowd's cheers, and I bolted to the bathroom, puking up the truth I couldn't swallow. Gay in the heartland, it's like being the only vegan at a rib cook-off. You learn to hide it quick, smile wider, laugh louder, and pray no one notices how your eyes linger. Fast forward 4 years, and here we were, summer of 25, the kind of sticky heat that makes the Mississippi hum like a fever dream. I just wrapped my shift at the local hardware store, slinging nails and paint thinner to weekend warriors, when my phone buzzed. Jake's name lit up the screen, and my stomach did that familiar flip. "Yo, Rivs, need a huge favor, man." His voice was all gravel and urgency, the post-practice rasp that always made my pulse stutter. "Scouts are coming next week. Big league interest. But my swing's off. Feels like I'm chopping wood instead of crushing line drives. You still got that golden arm? Meet me at the field tomorrow, dawn. Please." I should have said no. God, I should have. But Jake Harlan asking for help? It was like the sun begging for light. "Yeah, buddy. Dawn it is." The next morning, the air was crisp, dew-kissed, the kind that promises redemption before the humidity claws back. Memorial Park field stretched out like an old friend, chain-link fences rattling in the breeze, the scoreboard frozen at some ancient 7-4. Jake was already there, shadowboxing in the batter's box, his silhouette cutting sharp against the rising sun. He turned when he heard my truck rumble up, flashing that grin that could melt frost. "There's my ace. Thought you might bail on me." "Never," I said, grabbing my glove from the bed of the Ford. It smelled like leather and lost summers, the one Dad gave me before the cancer took him. I tossed a few warm-ups, easy lobs that popped satisfyingly into the webbing. Jake watched, bat on his shoulder, eyes narrowed like he was dissecting a puzzle. "All right, let's see it," he said, stepping up. I wound up, released a fastball knee-high right down the pipe. He swung, and the ball sailed foul, clipping the line. Damn. 2 inside. We went at it for an hour, me feeding him pitches, him adjusting, the rhythm building like a heartbeat. Sweat beaded on his forehead, trickling down his neck into the collar of his gray tee, and I forced myself to focus on the mound, not the way his muscles coiled like springs. "Loosen your hips," I called. "You're pulling it. Let it flow through." He nodded, wiping his brow. You're a wizard, Alex. How do you always know? Because I've watched you swing 1,000 times, I thought, memorizing every twitch. Practice, I lied. By noon, we'd made progress. His cuts were cleaner, the ball jumping off the bat with that sweet crack that echoes in your bones. We collapsed on the grass then, backs against the dugout wall, Gatorades in hand. The sun climbed high, turning the world gold. So, what's the girl situation? I asked, casual as I could manage. Jake's love life was a minefield for me. Every date a dagger, every breakup a quiet mercy. He chuckled, low and rueful. Emily from the sorority? She's killer, man. But she wants to see me play pro someday. Says it's hot. He flexed his arm, joking, but his eyes flicked to mine, holding a beat too long. Or maybe I imagined it. What about you? Still dodging mom's setups. I laughed it off. Yeah. The parade of nice Catholic girls continues. Lie number 2. My mom's suspicions simmered under her meatloaf sermons. But she'd never push. Not after Dad. We packed up, bumping fists like always. Thanks, Rivs. Oh, you big. His hand lingered on my shoulder, warm through my shirt. And for a heartbeat, the world narrowed to that touch. That night, I replayed it all in my shitty apartment above the laundromat, the fan whirring like white noise for my racing thoughts. Jake's laugh, the flex of his forearm, the way he'd said my name, like it meant something. Stupid. He was straight. I was the sidekick, the fixer, the friend who'd never get the girl or the guy. But dreams don't care about labels. In mine, we weren't on the field. We were in the outfield grass, stars wheeling overhead, his head on my chest, whispering secrets the heartland couldn't hear. The next day, he texted, "More practice?" Desperate times. I went, and the next. Days blurred into a routine. Dawn fields, sweat-soaked shirts, stolen glances over water breaks. He opened up more cracks in the golden boy armor. Turns out Emily was pressuring him, talking rings already, and the farm was struggling. Drought hitting the corn hard. Dad's talking sell-off. He confessed one evening, as thunderheads bruised the sky. All this for nothing if I don't make it. You will, I said fiercely, meaning it. You're Jake Harlan. Unstoppable. He looked at me then, really looked, the kind of gaze that strips you bare. What would I do without you, Alex? The question hung, heavy as humidity. I swallowed. Crash and burn, probably. We laughed, but it felt fragile, like spun glass. By week's end, the scouts came. Creighton Stadium. Friday night under the lights. Crowd buzzing like cicadas. I sat in the stands, anonymous in the sea of blue and white, heart pounding as Jake stepped to the plate. First pitch, strike. Second, foul. Third, gone. The ball arced into the night, a meteor, and the stands erupted. He rounded the bases, pumping his fist, eyes scanning the crowd until they locked on mine. That grin pure electric. For Emily? For the scouts? Or? He signed with the Royals farm system that night, low-A ball in Burlington. Beers at O'Malley's after, the whole team toasting the prodigal son. Emily draped on his arm, all blonde waves and victory kisses, but Jake kept pulling me into shots, toasts that felt private. To the guy who fixed my swing, he yelled over the din, arms slung around my neck, his breath hot on my ear. My MVP. Emily shot me a look, wary, appraising. I excused myself early, the weight of unspoken words crushing my chest. Weeks later, he was packing for Iowa, the farm quiet under harvest moon. I helped load the truck, silent labor in the barn, hay dust dancing in sunbeams. Gonna miss this, he said, heaving a duffel. Miss you. My throat tightened. You'll kill it down there. Call anytime. He paused, leaning against the tailgate. Alex, there's something I need to say. Time fractured. The world held its breath. But he didn't say it. Not then. Instead, he clapped my shoulder. See you soon, brother. And roared off in a cloud of gravel, taillights fading like a bruise. I stood there, barn cats weaving at my ankles, the echo of what-ifs clawing my gut. That night, I drove the back roads, radio blasting Springsteen, windows down to let the wind whip away the ache. Thunder Road. Fitting, because that's what it felt like, a highway to nowhere, chasing ghosts. Burlington was 2 hours east, across the river into Iowa's flat sprawl, but it might as well have been Mars. Texts came sporadic at first, gym selfies, lineup announcements, emojis of baseballs and beers. Then quieter. Emily moved with him, sublet an apartment overlooking the Mississippi, posting couple pics on Insta. Sunsets from the levee, her head on his shoulder, each one a paper cut. I threw myself into fall ball, coaching the peewees with a vengeance. Little Timmy's curveball, Sarah's fierce slide. Kids don't judge. They just swing. Mom noticed, though, over Sunday pot roast. You look peaky, Mijo. Jake's gone. And you're fading like old denim. I'm fine, I muttered, spearing a carrot. Lie number 3. Winter hit hard. Snow blanketing Omaha like a shroud. Holiday lights twinkled defiant, but mine felt dim. Christmas Eve, a knock at the door. Jake, unannounced, dusted in flakes, duffel at his feet. Surprise, asshole. Train broke down. Mom squealed, pulling him into hugs and tamales. We crashed in my old room. Bunk beds from boyhood. The air thick with nostalgia and unspoken tension. He talked farm league grind. Blisters, bus rides. The scout who called him raw but redeemable. Emily was great, adjusting to the nomadic life. But his eyes, in the dim glow of my desk lamp, searched mine. How's the hardware hero? Any action? Nah. Saving myself for the right pitch. We laughed, but it died quick. Midnight mass the next day, candles flickering in St. Mary's. His knee brushed mine under the pew. Accidental? I shifted, heat crawling up my neck. Post-service, eggnog at home, he cornered me in the kitchen. Alex about before. When I said there was something, the door swung open, Emily sweeping in with gifts and giggles. Timing cruel as ever. She stayed through New Year's. The 3 of us an awkward trio. Fireworks on the roof, her laughter a buffer. But one night, snowstorm raging, power out. We huddled by the fireplace, shadows dancing. Emily dozed on his lap, and he leaned close, voice a whisper. I lied about being fine. The pressure, it's eating me. What if I flame out? What if it's all for nothing? I gripped his hand, impulsive, our fingers lacing like they belonged. You're enough, Jake, with or without the bat. His thumb stroked my knuckle, slow, deliberate. The fire crackled. Emily stirred. He pulled away. Spring training rolled around, and he vanished into the circuit, Quad Cities, Peoria, a blur of box scores I tracked obsessively. My life? Steady erosion. The store promoted me to assistant manager, which meant more shifts, less dreams. I came out to Mom one rainy April night, over her famous Tres Leches. I'm gay, Ma. Have been forever. She didn't flinch, just squeezed my hand. I knew, Corazon, since you brought home that poster of Derek Jeter instead of Jessica Alba. Tears then, hers and mine, the kind that wash clean. Love who loves you back. That's the Harlan in all of us. No, the Rivera grit. Emboldened, I dipped a toe into Omaha's scene. A coffee shop meetup. A guy named Tyler with a lip ring and poetry slams. Nice enough, but his touch felt like costume jewelry. Shiny, but cold. Then, June Scorcher. A call. Rivs, emergency. Back in town. Field. Now. Heart in throat, I raced to Memorial Park. He was there, bat in hand, but no grin. Bruised shadows under his eyes, uniform rumpled. Slump, he spat, swinging at air. 2 weeks, oh fair. Can't buy a hit. Coach is riding me, Emily's. Distant. I pitched. Soft tosses building up. The ball met sweet spot once, twice, cracks like thunder. There it is, I yelled. Feel that. He dropped the bat, storming the mound. Chest heaving, he grabbed my arms. It's not the swing, Alex. It's me. I'm broken. No. Yes. His voice cracked. Emily found out. About. Not us, but the way I look at you. The world tilted. What? She saw the texts. The late nights. Said I'm confused. That I'm using you as a crutch. His grip tightened. But she's wrong. Or right. I don't know anymore. Rain started, fat drops splattering the dirt. I searched his face. Fear, fire, something raw and unnamed. Jake! He kissed me. Sudden, desperate, lips crashing like waves on rock. Salt and sweat and years of want. His hands fisting my shirt, pulling me under. I kissed back, drowning, the storm our only witness. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. I've wanted that, he whispered, since forever. But I was scared. Straight Jake, farm boy, all that bullshit. Relief warred with terror. What now? Now? We figure it out. His smile, tentative, bloomed like dawn. But Emily didn't vanish easy. She confronted him that night, over takeout in his motel room, words flying like fastballs. You're throwing us away for him? Your bro? I wasn't there, but he told me later, her tears carving rivers. She packed, left for her parents in Lincoln, a text to me. He's yours. Fix him like you fix everything. Summer deepened, humid and hazy. We stole time. Dawn practices turning to dusk walks along the Platte, hands brushing, then holding. First real date. Ribs at slow smoke, awkward laughs over coleslaw, his knee against mine under the table. This feels right, he said, eyes soft. Like coming home. I believed him. God, I did. We talked futures, him climbing minors, me maybe following, coaching in the system. Together, he'd say, thumb tracing my jaw. Nights in his truck, parked on bluffs overlooking the city. Kisses deepening, bodies close but boundaries firm. No rush, just us, learning the map of each other. But cracks spiderwebbed. Whispers in the team house, Harlan's off. Teammates side-eyeing, a prank left on his locker. Rainbow tape on his cleats. He laughed it off, but I saw the flinch. Emily? Radio silence turned to barbs. Anonymous posts on the Farm League forum. Star hitter's dirty secret. Rumors festered. Climax brewed in August, All-Star break. He was called up for a showcase in Kansas City, Royals brass watching. I drove down, badge from my coaching cert getting me into the family section. He crushed it, 3 for 3, stolen base, the works. Post-game, champagne in the clubhouse. He pulled me into a supply closet, euphoric, lips on mine. We did it. But outside, flashbulbs popped. A reporter, sleazy from the Star, caught the door ajar. Harlan, who's the guy? He froze. I slipped out, heart hammering. The article dropped Monday. Prospects' secret swing. Is baseball's golden boy batting for the other team? Grainy photo, speculation laced with venom. Twitter, X, whatever, exploded. Farm fans divided. Heroes and haters. His agent called, lay low. Dates don't help optics. Emily? She fanned the flames. Interview with a podunk blog. He betrayed me. Used our relationship as cover. Betrayal's sting hit hardest from her. The girl who'd known him longest, twisting our fragile thing into scandal. Jake spiraled. Practices skipped. Bat splintered in rage. They think I'm a joke, he snarled over phone, voice hollow. Dad won't even talk to me. I drove to Burlington, the river mocking with its lazy flow. Found him at the apartment, blinds drawn, whiskey neat on the coffee table. This ends us, he said, not meeting my eyes. I can't drag you through it. No. I knelt, took his face. We fight. But doubt had rooted deep. That night, tangled in sheets. First time crossing that line. Tender, exploratory. He whispered, I love you, Alex. Words like manna. Dawn brought the call, released. Distraction, the GM said. Focus on fundamentals, not the swing. He punched the wall, drywall crumbling like his dreams. Blood streaked his knuckles, and I bandaged them in silence. The apartment reeking of stale takeout and shattered illusions. It's over, he repeated, numb. Back to the farm, digging post holes. No. I cupped his chin, forcing eye contact. You're more than this. We'll appeal. Find another team. Who wants the queer farm boy? Bitter laugh, eyes glassy. Emily was right. I was confused. Using you. The words landed like that foul tip to my temple. Back in the dream that started it all. Don't, I whispered. Don't do this. He pulled away, pacing. You deserve better, Rivs. Someone who doesn't tank your life. I left at noon. The drive home a blur of cornfields and tears. Texts unanswered. Calls to voicemail. A week later, a letter old school. His scrawl on Harlan Farm stationery. I'm sorry. Need space. Don't follow. Betrayal burned coldest from him. The one who'd cracked me open. I spiraled too. Quit the store. Took odd jobs, nights at dive bars nursing IPAs and what-ifs. Mom hovered. Sage bundles smudging the air. He'll come around, Mijo. Love's a long inning. But autumn leaves fell and he didn't. Omaha's scene lost appeal. Hookups felt hollow, echoes of his touch. I volunteered at the LGBTQ center, facilitating groups for rural kids. Stories of hiding, coming out, the heartland's quiet wars. It grounded me, their resilience a mirror to my own. November, frost on pumpkins, a package. His old bat, the one with my coaching notes etched in the grip. Note inside, keep swinging. G. Rage fueled me. I drove to the farm unannounced, gravel crunching under tires, the Harlan silos stark against a bruised sky. His dad met me at the gate. Stoic, weathered, flannel over a heart I couldn't read. He's in the back 40. I found him mending fence, posts driven deep, wire taut. He straightened, surprise flickering, then shuddering. Alex, what? You don't get to ghost me. Words tumbled, fierce. You don't kiss me, love me, then bail because the world snarls. He wiped dirted hands on jeans, avoiding my gaze. It's not that simple. Dad's barely speaking. Mom cries at dinner. Teammates? Ghosts. Fuck them. I stepped closer, the air electric. This is us. Real. His eyes met mine, storm-tossed. I betrayed you. Pushed you out there. Then ran. Yes. Honesty cut both ways. You did. But I see you, Jake. The boy who hit homers for hay bales. Who held my hand in the snow. Come back. He dropped the pliers, crossing the gap. Embrace rough, desperate, hay and earth and home. I miss you. Every damn pitch. We talked then. Hours under the oaks. Leaves crunching like confessions. His fears. The farm's debt. Dad's silent judgment. The league's iron closet. Emily's final twist. A leaked voicemail. Him slurring doubts post-breakup. Twisted into proof of deceit. She wanted revenge, he said. I get it. I hurt her. Forgive yourself, I urged. Like I forgive you. Winter thawed slow. He trained in secret, my pitches in empty lots swing hone sharp. Audition tapes sent to indie leagues, the kind that don't care about optics, just results. Rejection piled, but so did resolve. Emily reached out once, apology email. Therapy speak about processing. I deleted it. Her chapter closed. Spring 26 miracle drop. The St. Paul Saints American Association offered a contract. Low pay, bus leagues, but a diamond. He signed, me in the stands, heart full. For us, he said, pen scratching. Burlington Redux, but different. Shared apartment, river views, routines woven tight. Morning runs, his games at night, me scouting from bleachers. Kisses stolen in parking lots, hands linked at diners. Pride Month, we marched in Des Moines. Rainbow flags whipping, his arm around me, unashamed. But drama lingered, shadows long. A Saints teammate, Brody, bigoted loudmouth, cornered him post-game. Heard about your hobby. Keep it off the field, fairy. Jake decked him, clean right hook, bench-clearing brawl. Suspended 3 games, headlines again. Prospects temper flares amid personal turmoil. Agent bailed. Fans picketed one home stand. Signs crude. No gays in the game. But others showed. Queer alliance banners. Kids with signs. Swing your truth, Harlan. Through it, we deepened. Nights he'd doubt. I'd hold him, tracing scars. Literal from barbed wire. Figurative from betrayals. You're my high heat, I'd murmur, evoking fastballs. He'd laugh, pull me close. And you're my anchor. Summer peaked, heat wave merciless. A doubleheader in Winnipeg, him on a tear, grand slam, the works. Post-victory, hotel bar, he proposed. Not ring, but words. On one knee amid spilled peanuts. Marry me, Alex. Not tomorrow, not for show. When we're ready. But say yes. Tears blurred. Yes. Betrayal's echo faded, replaced by this us building. Yet climax loomed, inevitable as a curve. Labor Day weekend Omaha series. Memorial Park. Full circle. I sat front row, Mom beside me, her cross necklace glinting. Jake at bat, 3-2 count, bases juiced. Wind up, pitch, swing, foul tip, straight to my temple. World exploded. Pain, lights, his scream. I crumpled, blood pooling. The crowd a roar turned gasp. Medics swarmed. CT scan at Methodist. Concussion, stitches, but no fracture. Jake in the room, wild-eyed, holding my hand like lifeline. I aimed wrong. God, Alex. Shoo. Weak smile. Just a wild pitch. Doctors cleared me, but the shock rippled. Papers spun it. Lovers quarrel? Harlan hits fiancé. Emily, again, anonymous source, her fingerprints smudged but there. Twitter storm. Cancellation calls, sponsor pulls. He snapped. Quit the Saints mid-season. Truck loaded Dawn next. Can't risk you, he said, bags packed. I'm poison. Don't. But he kissed my forehead. Drove into fog. Alone again. Stitches itching. The apartment echoed with absence. Mom brought soup, her prayers a soft litany. But grief was mine alone. I scrolled old texts. Dawn promises, sunset hearts, each a knife twist. Betrayal tripled. His initial flight, the public unraveling, now this self-sacrificial bolt. Fall colors bled gold, harvest fairs in full swing. I wandered the state fair, funnel cake dusting my shirt, the midway's chaos a bomb. There, in the livestock barn, amid lowing steers, Jake. Not fleeing but facing, volunteering with 4-H kids, teaching swings to wide-eyed tweens. His dad beside him, gruff but present, nodding approval. He saw me, froze. Kids scattered, and we stood, awkward giants among hay bales. Heard about the beanball, he said, half-smile. Scared me straight. Well, gayer. Pun intended? Laughter broke ice. We walked the grounds, Ferris wheel lights winking. I panicked, he admitted, cotton candy stick twirling. After the hit, thought I'd destroy you like I did everything. You didn't. I bumped his shoulder. The article? Emily's ghost. But we outlast ghosts. He stopped by the pig races, eyes earnest. Therapy, rivs. Dad dragged me, group for vets and farmers processing the man-up bullshit. Realized running's my pattern. From feelings, from me. Pride swelled, tangled with ache. And now, I want back in, but on our terms. He pulled a flyer, Indy Winter League, Colorado Springs, Scout Heavy. Coach spot for you. Together. Temptation ward caution. What about the noise? Screw the noise. Fire in his gaze. I'm done hiding. You. We drove to the farm that night, moon full. His folks waited, dinner spread. Awkward grace. Dad Harlan, calloused hands extended. Son's an idiot, but he's ours. Welcome. Mom Harlan, tears brimming, hugged fierce. Emily? A letter arrived weeks later, forwarded. I was hurt, lashed out. I'm sorry. Be happy. Healing incremental. Winter League tryouts, snowy fields in the Rockies, our breath clouds mingling. He signed, me assistant coach, pitches dialed, swings pure. Off-field. Cabin shares, fireplaces crackling, books read aloud. Steinbeck for grit, Baldwin for soul. James Baldwin hit hard. If you love a man, let him go. If he returns. Jake dog-eared it, underlined. But conflict simmered. League prez old school. Pulled Jake aside. Image matters. Tone down the affection. A game, ejection for arguing balls. Umps call biased, fans chanting slurs. Jake in the showers after, fists bloody on tile. Why fight when they rig the game? Because it's yours, I said, rinsing his hands. Ours. Spring thaw brought opportunity. Royals affiliate invite, High A in Wilmington. Tempting, but tainted, the scandal's shadow. Agent new savvy, lean in, humanize it. Podcast tour. Raw talks on queerness in sports, Heartland hypocrisy. Views spiked, sponsors queer-friendly trickled, Under Armour Arc Pride Patch. We relocated, Delaware's green a bomb. Apartment with view of the bay, bikes for weekends. Routine solidified, his at-bats, my charts, dinners debated, tacos versus pierogies. Love deepened, verbalized. I see you, he'd say. Post-loss, my head on his chest. Vulnerability his new swing. Yet betrayal's specter stalked. June, Wilmington Pride, parade route. Us arm in arm, rain sheeting. Counter-protesters, megaphones blaring scripture. Bottles sailed, glass shattering at our feet. Jake shielded me, cut on his arm. Our weight, stitches mirroring mine. Karma, he joked, pale. Rage boiled later over cheap wine. They win if we quit. We won't. Oath sealed with kiss, fierce. Climax crested July 4th. Fireworks over the river, but ours exploded pregame. Teammate leak. Locker room video. Jake venting doubts. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just chasing Dad's ghost. Not the dream. Twisted online. Harlan cracks. Is the engagement a sham? Emily denied, but suspicion poisoned. Fans heckled. Go back to the farm, fraud. He benched himself. Clubhouse isolation. I confronted coach. He's human. Let him play. You his keeper? Snarl. Yes. Defiant. That night, empty stadium, just us. He swung, fury-fueled, balls sailing. For who? I asked, feeding heat. For us. For the kid in Omaha who dreamed big. Swing crack. For the guy who caught me. Tears mixed sweat. We collapsed, stars emerging. I betrayed my own heart, he confessed. Hiding, running. But you stayed. Forgiven. Always. He started next game. Lead-off homer silencing doubters. Buzz built. Press conference. Hand in mine. Alex is my rock. Love isn't distraction. It's drive. Headlines shifted. Harlan's home run for Hart. Summer waned. Playoffs loomed. We thrived. His average .320 stolen bases league lead. Me promoted to hitting coach, crediting his sink. Away series, hotel whispers. Futures murmured, majors maybe. Family someday, adoption dreams. But autumn whispered warnings. World Series hype, but for us, personal stakes. Jake's dad, cancer diagnosis, prostate, late. Flight home, ICU vigil, monitors beeping. Proud of you, son? Harlan Sr. rasped, gripping Jake's hand, then mine. Both. Grief's edge sharpened resolve. Funeral under elms, eulogies heartfelt. Jake's speech. Dad taught me to swing true, to face the pitch. Eyes on me, unspoken, with you. Back to ball, fire renewed. Postseason run, wild card, divisional. Tension electric. Bus rides our sanctuary. Hands linked in dark. Championship series, St. Paul rematch. Dome lights harsh, crowd a thunder. Game 3, tied 4-4, bottom ninth. Jake up, full count. Wind up, slider low. He fouls, grit teeth. Next, fastball, thigh high. Swing, crack. Ball arcs, hangs, gone. Lights out homer, Saints win it. Dugout explosion, teammates piling. His eyes finding mine over the scrum. Jersey off, tossed to me, sweat damp, number 14 bold. Post-game, confetti blizzard, champagne sprays. Interview. This for Dad, for Alex, for every kid scared to swing their truth. Mic drop, kiss, cameras flashing, world watching. Off-season bliss. Omaha return, farm inherited, hybrid life, coaching clinics, his endorsement deals funding queer youth camps. Wedding whispers. Small, Riverside. Mom's tamales, his mom's pie. Rings simple, tungsten etched with bats crossed. But humanism's thread. Not fairy tale, but earned. Emily crossed paths at a charity gala. Awkward nod. Then talk. I was broken too, she said. Hurt you both. Therapy's magic. Handshake, closure. Years unspool. Jake climbs, majors call 28, Royals utility, Pride Night icon. Me beside, strength coach, our story ESPN doc. Diamond hearts. Betrayals? Scars, faded reminders to cherish. One dawn, Memorial Park, dew fresh. He swings, I pitch eternal. Still shocking, I tease. Every day, grin eternal. And in that crack, life's pitch wild, true ours. Epilogue hook, but life's no script. 32, trade to Dodgers, LA glare, new pressures. A rookie flirts, Jake laughs it off, but doubt flickers. Old fears. I ask Hollywood Hills view. Nah, just us forever. Pitch by pitch. Human arc. Love's not conquest, but companionship. Flawed, fierce. American as apple pie and stolen bases. We swing on,